Let's say no to yo-yo dieting. Let's say no to another diet. Let's not stress about what diet to go on next because the one that we tried failed. No more feeling worthless because you just don't know how to lose that weight. Why is it that when people really want to lose weight that it doesn't happen despite trying everything? Well, I've made this video for you, and it's a really substantial video that's going to look at the deep-rooted issues to why you probably aren't losing that weight and what you can do to change that. I'm really in for giving people a substantial approach to nutrition and health. No more artificial stuff, no more diets, no more of trying to solve things on a superficial level. Here we are, we're moving on to one of my favorite topics, which is change your beliefs about food and it will change your life. This is my wish for you, that you really get this. Change your beliefs about food and it will change your life. It will change your weight, it will change your health, it will change everything. Let me say this again. The food that you eat, if you have an idea that it's going to cause fatness, then it will. Let's compare that to someone else who eats a chocolate cake followed by 2 chocolate cakes, who has no sense of guilt, who isn't counting the calories, who isn't worried about extra fat on the belly. Well, these people are less likely to put on weight. Why is that? Well, it's because they have a healthy relationship to food. Food is their friend. They're not in a state of negative emotion. They're not judging themselves or judging the food. They're not saying what they don't want indirectly. Because remember, if you're eating chocolate cake and you really don't want to put on weight and you're scared and you're still eating it because everyone else is doing it, you're in a state of resistance. And you're basically saying, you're sending out the emotion or the energy of, I don't want to put on weight. Well, unfortunately, what we don't want is what exactly we get, because that's the frequency you are releasing. So it's all about releasing that resistance that you are in. And unfortunately, most people live in a state of resistance, especially when it comes to health. They don't want to get bigger. They really do want to get healthier, but they're going about it in a different way. They go on this diet and that diet and counting this and counting that. But actually, everything starts in the mind. So if you change your beliefs about food, it will change your life. It will change your health. It will change your weight. So how do we change our beliefs if that's where it all starts? Well, first of all, we need to identify what your beliefs are. Are you friends with food? Do you look at food? Are you scared when you see that chocolate cake? Are you like, oh my God, it's going to give me fatness? If you are, then really find a quiet moment, take out a journal and write what it is you're scared about. And then we change that affirmation. So let's say your thought is, I put on weight so easily. I can just look at a chocolate cake and I put on weight. How many times haven't we heard that? Well, we have to change that. So how do we change it? You have to say the opposite of it, right? So the beliefs which we have, they're there from childhood. You may have heard your mother say things like that, or your aunties, usually women, that we get these beliefs about food from. What you want to do is reaffirm that belief. So I've written some down here. So I'm never going to lose weight. Affirmation. And the affirmation is something that you say over and over again until you believe it. And trust me, I have affirmations I've said for 1 year and I'm still saying them so I can really believe it. So it's like planting seeds in our brain. Affirmation 4, I'm never going to lose weight. Let's make this positive. My body is vibrating with health and energy. I feel so amazing. First time you say that, you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm so dumb. What am I saying? But it all starts like this. We have to be gentle with ourselves and take little baby steps. Another one. Nothing ever works out for me. I can't do this. Affirmation is developing healthy eating habits becomes easier every single day. Can you see? We've taken what we said initially, which was really self-limiting, and this belief, we've turned it upside down and we've put in place a really positive affirmation. And that will, excuse me, that will change your life. And you can do this with every area of your life. I do it myself. So that was that step. Change your beliefs about food and change your life, change your health, change your weight. So the next step is reduce resistance, and if you can, release resistance, because as I said in my previous clip, is that it's actually the resistance around the weight gain. You're in a state of resistance when you're scared to put on weight. That's going to give you more weight gain. And that's because we live on a beautiful planet, in a beautiful universe. And when you judge something as good or bad, the universe doesn't know what is good and bad. This is your judgment. So you're saying, I don't want this. And it actually will give you more of what you don't want, because that's the energy you're releasing. Does that make sense? So if you don't want to put on weight, or I'm trying to think of other aspects, it doesn't just have to be around food. You don't want to be at that job, in that job anymore. You don't want to be with this person anymore. You really want to be happy, but you're always focusing on the negative, then you're going to get more of the negative. And you know, when I found out about this rule, it's actually, I catch myself sometimes. I'm like, I don't want this, and I'm like, oh, wow. I need to say what I want, not what I don't want. So basically, reducing resistance. How do we do that when it comes to food? Well, I have found that people who go on a diet, it's very controlled and it's very rigid, and people don't enjoy it. So do you think you're going to be in a state of resistance or non-resistance? I think you're going to be in a state of resistance. If you're doing something you don't love, if you don't enjoy it, if you're like, oh my God, if you're fearful about it, resistance. And you need to let that go, because you want to go with the flow. You want to be in a flow, because that's when things happen. Magic happens then. You're going to see your weight come off. But if you're doing all these things that really don't bring you no joy, my suggestion is that you find something that does. And that's the solution. The solution to releasing resistance is the following. Increase your vibration daily by taking small steps. So what do I mean? When you're doing something you don't want to do, you are in a negative frame of mind. Your vibration, as we say, is low. How do we increase our vibration? People who are joyful and happy and doing what they love, they've got a high vibration. Increase your vibration every day. So, taking small baby steps. That could be, I had a client recently, and what we did was, I said to her, I want you to just do one thing. The smallest thing you can think of. And she said to me, it would be to have few vegetables on my plate of an evening. Great! Brilliant. We started there. And then we've added, according to her needs, not my need. And you know what? The more joyful she was feeling, because she was eating, including more vegetables, then she started to do more. She's now started to do yoga. She's probably also going to go to the gym, I think. She did say that will be the next thing. And I hope she will. But I'm not going to push her. I'm just going to encourage her, empower her. Because when we do one thing and we focus on it and we accomplish that, then we're going to do more and more and more. Because we feel great and there's no resistance. So take baby steps, increase your vibration. Do a dance class, go to the gym, go to yoga, go to Pilates, whatever you like. Do one small thing and don't push yourself, because then you're going to be in a state of resistance. So I think that's that one here. That was that step. I just want to finish off with this quote. What we resist persists. If you resist weight loss, then you're going to get more of that. If you resist that awful job you're in, if you resist the fact that you haven't find that perfect partner, if you resist that you still haven't gone to this place in the world that you really wanted to go to, then you won't. But if you change it around, then you will. So this next step is crucial. It's actually the most crucial point, and that is identify why you are overweight. Why? Now, I've worked in the fitness, nutrition and health industry since I was 18 years old. I'm now 33, healthy, blessed and happy. I have heard so many excuses in my life from people who are overweight who say the following. It's my slow metabolism. It's my genetics. Oh, it's my crappy diet. Well, I'm here to tell you that none of those are truths. In fact, being overweight is an internal problem. It's nothing to do with the external. We often blame it on our diet. It's not solely down to poor diet and exercise. It's much deeper than that. And what I found is that some of the problems, internal problems I'm talking about in people who are overweight, are the following. You feel this inner void, and to fill that inner void, you use food. Now, if you think about alcoholics, what do they fill the inner void with? Alcohol. So please, this is not a judgment, right? I'm not here judging anyone. I'm talking about what I see, and being a conscious parenting coach as well. I've looked myself in the mirror, deep in the mirror, and doing my own healing, because we all have deep issues that we don't talk about. But if we don't bring these things to the surface, then what we do is just going to be superficial. And I'm not looking for nothing superficial. I'm looking for the deep-rooted truth, so we can bring that out, so we can solve it, and you can live a healthy and happier life. Okay, so some of the other things I've seen is basically, it's a need. People who are overweight are in a state of need, and to fill that need, they're in a state of lack. Basically, they're not abundant. They don't feel abundant. They feel lack. They feel void. And when you feel this lack, what are you going to fill it with? For you watching, if you're struggling with your weight, it's probably going to be food. If you're feeling a need for affection, some people use food. Food gives them warmth and love and joy if they lack that elsewhere in their lives. It's also a way to feel more powerful. People who put on weight feel more powerful. But in fact, on the internal level, they are very vulnerable, but they don't want to show that side. They want to come across as powerful, strong. And this is another one here. Not living your authentic self. When you're trying to live up to people's expectations and not your own, you're not being true to yourself. You will therefore feel inner void, inner lack. And what are you going to fill that with? Food. So do you see? I really would love for you to identify why you think you are overweight. Because trust me, when you find that, then you will know what to do then. If you don't, please ask me and I'll guide you. But we can't move forward if we don't know the why. So basically the solution to this is be honest with yourself, look in the mirror, because you only have yourself. So let's do a summary of what I said, because You may have been given a lot of information here, and some of it has been the truth, and sometimes the truth may hurt, but that's the only way that we can make changes, is actually looking in the mirror. So the number one thing that would be advisable to do is change your beliefs so you can change your life. If you don't change your beliefs, then you're going to do the same old over and over again and with no results. So write out your beliefs, write out the affirmation to change it, and say it to yourself every day. Look in the mirror, tell yourself that affirmation. Write it out. You should see my bedroom. It's full of affirmations. My toilet full of affirmations. And that's because I know that when I change my beliefs, I change my life. So that's number one. And then the other one I talked about is resistance. If we don't let go of resistance, then we get more of it. Basically, if you say and you're giving out the energy that you are struggling and it's really hard to do this diet and you don't want to lose, and you really want to lose that weight, and you can't look at yourself because you feel so awful, then you're in a state of resistance because you're not feeling good. The aim is to feel good. How do you feel good? Focus on the positive. You may have beautiful ears. Focus on your ears. Beautiful feet. Focus on that. And little by little, you'll see that your vibration will increase and you'll start seeing more beautiful things. And the more beautiful things we see, the more beautiful things will come around. So change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. And then we got very deep, and I said you need to explore why you're overweight. Why? Because, it's only a reflection of your inner world. And we as humans, we don't talk about these things. And I find it very sad. It's substantial to go deep. And that's when you'll see that you'll make proper changes to your life, to your health, to every aspect. So it's Nishti here. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, share it with a friend who you may think would benefit from listening to this. Lots of love.